All right. I believe we are live now on YouTube. Let's give it just a minute here. I will slowly introduce my good friend who is with me today. Everybody say hello to Shane Sager. Shane, good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone. How we doing?
Oh man, I'm a little sleepy today. It was a long night, but it's good to be here with you to talk about this announcement. Sometimes I come on and I've got a special guest, and we're talking about cool harmonica related events that are coming up. And this one is, I've said this more than once, but it's true. It's one of my all time favorite events to be a part of. And there's several reasons for that. And the Boston Harmonica Bash is an extension of some events that have been done on the East Coast over the last few years. And Shane and I decided to offer up this event coming up December 13th through 15th. And Shane, I'm gonna actually pass it on to you, and maybe you can start by telling us a little bit about what folks might want to know regarding this weekend.
Sure. Well, I think the biggest thing about this event in particular, as opposed to other harmonica events, is that it's very intimate. And I think with the intimacy, you get a lot more take home value from it. The event itself is located in downtown Boston, which is where I was born and raised, and it is kind of a day and a half long event. The main day being the Saturday. On Friday night there will be shows, and on Saturday night there will also be shows. There will also be a chance for everyone to get up and play. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great food. There's a lot of great conversation, talk about harmonica, and the classes in particular are tailored to whatever it is that you want to learn. That's why Ronnie and I are there. In the past, we've had a lot of classes that people kind of like decided like I want to learn third or I want to learn horn lines or whatever it is. So this event is really about you, and Ronnie and I are just there to kind of help you.
Yeah, and I know that topics that seem to come up frequently that you can certainly count on that seem to be popular. We were just talking about it before we jumped on this live stream, which would be third position blues harmonica playing, both from diatonic and chromatic perspective. By the way, Shane's a great chromatic player. I can talk somewhat about third position blues playing, no problem. But beyond that, Shane is there to support you for the chromatic stuff. Another topic, improvisation. It's huge, it's wide open, and it relates to a lot of the jam time that folks get when they're there. I also want to say that it's fully catered. You mentioned the food. The food is outstanding. Now, this is one of the reasons why it's my favorite event. It's not the only reason, but the food is out of sight. It is some amazing food that is catered in. So your breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the weekend is covered. That alone is worth the price of admission. If you think I'm full of it, then you haven't seen what's being laid out for this event. We're talking everything from Italian food to lobster rolls to, there's a nice mix of food going on. It's just incredible, but it's a really nice hang. And one of my other favorite things is that this event, Shane, is not a huge event, right? Like, I mean, we could safely say that it'll most likely be in the neighborhood of like approximately 20 people, let's say. Could be less, could be a little more, but it could be less. And the fact that it's not some big event means you get a lot of time sort of in the one-on-one and socialization part of the event. It's not just about getting lost in the mix. It's the opposite. It's about getting the attention you need and being able to ask those one-off questions in workshops sometimes is not as easy as you think when they're big ones. You might be able to ask it in a group setting, but it gets answered and it's whatever. In these smaller group workshops, you can really go deep and we can really help you kind of make some progress to the next step.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing also about a lot of harmonica events is that there's so much information and it kind of overwhelms you because there's so many people, there's so many instructors. But with this, it's much more slowed down, and I think that
Yeah.
that's a very helpful component, especially when you're trying to break down things on a harmonica.
So maybe we could just mention that like the event kicks off the 13th of December. It's a Friday evening where we all convene for some food and drink, socialization, hang. Shane and I will perform on Friday night, which is kind of cool. We've got a couple sets of music for you. And then on Saturday, it's the full, like Shane mentioned, it's the full blown day of classes and jam time. and food and great stuff happening. And then at night, again, more socialization. What I also like about this event, it's all going to be contained in one spot. There won't be any traveling around needed. So, um, tell us a little bit more about the specifics of the location, maybe if people are curious.
Yeah, sure. So the location is right across from Boston Common, right in downtown. It's actually at my dad's place, and he has this big space in Boston. And last year when we put it on, him and my mom were gracious enough to let us use it, and it's great. It's multi-floor, tons of room for breakout sessions, and yeah. So when we split off into groups, it's not like a lot of events you can kind of hear the bleed through of other classes and things like that. There won't be any of that.
Yeah, good point. It
Uh,
really is. It really is a comfy spot, and it's like it's tailor made for like a learning environment because it's inspiring. Actually, the space is quite inspiring. But then again, having that small group setting, all I got to say is if there is an event you were considering attending, whether it's this year or next year, most likely you're looking into 2025, I wouldn't wait. I would jump on this, even if you don't live in and around Boston. It's worth coming out. So check it out. We'll put the link in the video description, and the price that you see for the ticket does include all meals. So keep that in mind. All you need to do is bring yourself and your harmonicas. We'll have everything else you need. Is there anything you want to add, Shane, that we might not have touched on for this event?
only that we just had a great time last year, and I was very. My parents were very happy to help us out, and we're very happy to do this event again. And yeah, it's these kind of harmonica workshops are really that's kind of the bread and butter of really getting better on this instrument. So I think
Yeah,
especially the intimate ones are the have the most value.
totally agree. I'm thinking back to like when I was developing that we didn't have these opportunities. There might have been some get-togethers informally that were, hey, so and so is coming in town and we're going to meet at somebody's house and we're going to hang out with him. He's performing and we're going to try to learn. Now there are workshops to choose from out there, but I will say that there are very few that are like this that are kind of high end in the sense that it's catered to you, literally the catering, and but also the tailor of how we try to custom tailor these classes to fit what it is that you're trying to learn. So when you sign up, be sure to just write us a note and say, here are the hot topics that are on my mind, things that I'm most curious about. We always try to integrate what attendees are throwing our way into these classes so that you're getting what you really want out of it. So join us in Boston. Why not? It's a great way to end the year and kick off 2025 to get you motivated and inspired to get you to the next level. Thanks for joining me today, Shane, for this little chat. It's been a delight to hang out with you.
Yeah, man. As always, pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing everybody out in Boston in December. Y'all make it a wonderful rest of your day.